Hey everyone, and welcome. Today, we're going to finally clear up something that's at the absolute core of how the internet works. We're talking about the difference between a MAC address and an IP address. Let's just dive right in and get this sorted out.
Seriously, have you ever really thought about it? You hit send on an email, and that little packet of data just finds its way through this massive global web to land on one specific laptop or phone out of billions. How does it do that? Well, it's not magic, not at all. It's actually a really brilliant system of addressing, and by the end of this, you're going to know exactly how it all works.
All right, so let's start with the one question that really trips everybody up when they're first digging into networking. If we need an address to find a device, why on earth do we need two of them? Seems kind of redundant, right?
And here's the big reveal. It's not redundant at all. It's actually a brilliant division of labor. See, one address is designed to handle the super local, in the same room kind of delivery. The other one, it handles the big, global, cross-the-planet journey. This very separation is what allows the internet to work at such a massive scale without descending into total chaos.
Okay, first up, let's meet our first player, the MAC address. The easiest way to think about this is like your device's unique fingerprint or a serial number. It's permanent, it's unchangeable, it's physically burned right into the network hardware when the device is manufactured.
Now here's the crucial part. The MAC address is all about local chatter. We're talking super local. When your computer wants to talk to your printer on your home Wi-Fi, the little box they're connected to, the switch, is using these MAC addresses to play traffic cop. In the tech world, they call this a Layer 2 address, which is just a fancy way of saying its job is to get data between devices that are already on the same team, on the same local network.
And now for our second player, the IP address. You know, if the MAC address is your device's given name, then the IP address is its current mailing address. And just like a mailing address, it's not permanent. It's a logical label that just tells the rest of the world where your device is hanging out right now.
Think about it. An IP address gets assigned to you by whatever network you happen to be on. When you're on your home Wi-Fi, you get one IP address. But then you take your laptop to a coffee shop and connect to their Wi-Fi, bam, you get a totally different one. This is what we call a Layer 3 address, and its entire purpose in life is to route data between all those different networks across the huge, wide-open internet.
This table, right here, this is where it all comes together. Look at the difference. MAC is physical, IP is logical. MAC is permanent and static, IP is temporary and dynamic. MAC is for your local network, your LAN, IP is for the global internet. One is for the small neighborhood street, the other is for the worldwide highway system. They have completely different jobs.
Okay, I've got an analogy that's going to make this all click into place. Seriously, it's perfect. Just think about sending a regular, old-fashioned letter through the mail.
So, the IP address on your data packet is like writing the city, state, and street name on the envelope. Its job is to get that letter across the country, over oceans, to the right general neighborhood, the right local network. But once the mail carrier gets to that street, how do they know which mailbox to put it in? That's where the MAC address comes in. It's the specific house number. It handles that final, crucial step of local delivery. You see, you absolutely need both for it to work.
So you might be thinking these two addresses just exist separately, but that's not the whole story. They actually team up in this really clever way. They're nested together through a process called encapsulation. Let's see how this works.
Just go back to the mail analogy. The data itself, with the destination IP address on it, that's the actual letter. To send it, you have to put it inside an envelope, right? Well, in networking, that envelope is called a frame. And on the outside of that frame, you write the MAC addresses for just the very next stop on the journey.
And this, right here, is the most important takeaway. The IP address, the one on the letter inside, it never changes for the entire trip. It's the final destination. But that outer envelope, the frame, it gets torn off and replaced at every single hop. From your computer to your router, a new envelope. From that router to the next one, a new envelope. The MAC address is only concerned with getting to the very next step.
So why do we care? Why did we go through all this? Well, because getting this one concept, this idea that MAC and IP have different jobs, it's like the key that unlocks pretty much everything else you need to understand about networking.
You want to know how your computer magically gets an IP address when you connect to Wi-Fi? That's DHCP. Ever wonder how your computer finds the MAC address of your printer? That's ARP. Things like routing, switching, security, all of these more advanced ideas suddenly just make sense once you have this MAC versus IP foundation locked in place.
So next time you refresh a web page or fire off a text, just take a second to appreciate that elegant little dance happening between these two addresses. You now get the fundamental journey of how data moves around the world. And that kind of leaves us with a cool thought, right? What other invisible digital journeys are happening all around us, every single second, just making our world work?